We're on. Hello. Welcome to the Groomers Cut this evening. How is everyone tonight? How many people do we have out here? Oh, if you are new to us, welcome for the first time. Welcome to the Groomers Cut. We are the Pet Pro Educators. We are waiting on Melissa to be joining us. And I believe we just got notice Michelle has some family time she needs to take care of. So Michelle will not be on this evening, but we will catch back up with her next week.
And if there's anybody out there that doubts it, Michelle Knowles is the best wife on the planet.
I'm second to her.
I'm sure you are.
She's definitely the best wife ever. Yeah.
She is. She
absolutely
is superhero wife.
Yeah, she is. And they are a beautiful couple.
Mm-hmm.
So we are Pet Pro Educators. We got Jennifer. I'm Dara. Welcome everyone this evening. And if it's your first time viewing or your first time watching the replay and you are seeing us, you might be on one of our 8 platforms that we are streaming on this evening. So please give StreamYard permission on Facebook to be able to, so we can see your names. You might not see our chats. You might not see the questions. We will try to answer the questions, and we will try and put out some of the best comments that we see so that you can all see them and be a part of that. There we go.
Hello, Melissa.
Now we got the oily groomer here. Hello.
Hey.
And
Lisa, and I want to say hi to my partner, Lisa Herbold, in the chat room. Hooray, Lisa Herbold. She and I are opening a grooming school together.
always here.
She's awesome. And
she's like
Colleen
Smith.
Thank you for supporting, Lisa.
Know,
we
Colleen,
so appreciate
welcome.
you being here.
And Colleen from Bermuda, hello.
Hello.
Why aren't we with you? I want to go where Colleen is.
Colleen, are you guys safe down there? Because there was that hurricane that just
there was some
Elsa
bad
blew
weather.
Up. Yep.
Facebook user, Dara, tell them how they can.
User. I was doing that. You popped in.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
Hi, Julie.
Facebook user, give permission so we can see your name.
Yeah, the one that said, "Hey, ladies." We need to know.
Hey, ladies.
Who you are.
And I'm going to throw a shout out there because it's one of my very good friends' birthdays today. And I don't know if she'll be on, but Mindy, happy birthday. I hope you're having a great day. And I do miss you. So, all right, there we go.
Happy birthday, Mindy.
Me. Facebook user me.
Yeah, Facebook user me. We don't know who you are.
No, I'm me.
Lori.
You can't be me. Yeah.
And hi, Stephanie.
Lori.
Natty.
It's you.
Oh, it's Lori. Okay. Oh, good. And Colleen is hurricane free in the Bermudas. Thank you so much.
Yes, that's good.
Setting us at ease about that. It's so great. But love to Michelle and her hubby.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing that she's been doing.
Yes. So, and we got hi from Cincinnati. Welcome to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cheryl.
We've got some people. So tonight we talked about our goals last week and a little bit about those. And we started in on rock solid teams. So, you had said, Jennifer, that this was a big month for you because you wanted to hear what was going on. So
yes,
this has been a work in progress for
as
me.
A business owner, this month's theme is going to be very, I'm taking notes like everybody else. Yeah. I think it's great that we have, I started grooming part-time until 7 years ago. Back in 1981, there was no internet. There was no communication. I was just doing it summers and holidays for extra money.
I wasn't even born yet.
Rub it in.
She is so
rub it in.
No way.
I totally was born, Jennifer. I think I'm the same age as you. I'm just being a pain.
I'm 63. So I just know that I remember it was completely siloed and there was no way other than to just call up these 2 other groomers that were helping me, which was very kind of them. There was no flow or exchange of information between groomers. This is so good to have this exchange of ideas and information. It's awesome.
Well, this is, because so many people get into trades, and we are a trade, and it's a skilled trade, but a lot of people don't go on to that next level of education. which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. College isn't for everyone. So but to be a good business owner, I think for me at least, I think you can be good you excel in certain areas. Everybody has a superpower. And when you find your superpower, and we all know what my superpower is not, and that's grooming, but I'm really good at business. So you have to find your superpowers, and I think it's okay. I'm not a groomer, but I'm a business owner in a grooming industry. I know a lot about the industry. I follow on the industry. I'm involved in the industry. So that doesn't make me any less of something.
No, you're a leader in the industry.
I have to honestly say, though, that Dara always says she's not a groomer. Whenever I talk to Dara, Dara's freaking grooming.
On the floor.
So I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Dara is a freaking groomer, and she needs to accept that fact that if she's standing behind a table with a clipper and a scissors, she's grooming.
I'm grooming.
And I love it. Maybe she's a damn good groomer.
Maybe I don't think that you're as good as you want to be, but I'll bet you're just fine. But I'm
a fine pet groomer.
She is a damn good groomer, and that she undersells her abilities. Believe me.
I have no doubt. But one of the things that I think speaks incredibly well of you, and what makes you an even smarter groomer and businesswoman, is that when you feel like you have a weakness, something that you know in a self-assessment that you're not great at, or maybe not as good as you see other people are, you surround yourself, you bring that talent to you, you find what your weaknesses are, you self-assess, and you go to get that expertise in the areas that you feel are you're weak in. And that is a hallmark of good business practice.
Well, thank you, because I have done that in the last year, and I have sought out and found and pinpointed and gone into myself and went and stripped myself raw and came back going, yep, okay, this is how it's going to be from here on out. So I looked at a lot of things and came to a lot of terms with myself, and realizing that a good team comes from good leadership. And, I'll be honest that I always thought, and I had always envisioned myself that I was a good leader. And I thought I actually, and then when I took this course and went, oh my God, I suck. I am terrible. I'm a terrible leader. And it's changed my world. It has changed my world. And now because I was able to look at that, I can step back. And now, instead of just seeing the people on my floor, instead of seeing the people who work for me, now I can look at them and go, I know what that strength is. I know what that weakness is. I know when to step in and when not to now, and how to talk.
And that's those are the hallmarks of being a great leader, are to be able to assess your team.
Yep.
And I think that, that only comes with you being able to say that you wanted to step back and let other people kind of take on different roles. So that way you could actually grow your business.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it's done. I was stagnant. I was so stagnant. And now we're finding life. We're coming together. We're doing things that I was like, this is what I was lacking years ago. This is what I was lacking I want to say I'm going 2 years ago. This is where I was lacking. And we get so caught up that we forget. And, one of the biggest things I think we forget in our industry, and that a lot of people lose, is we have so much empathy and so much sympathy for the animals on our table that we almost dehumanize the people that are working for us and with us, and we forget about them. And I know this is like Michelle's go-to right here. This is her. She really, watching her, and she was the one who actually inspired me to do this self-searching and this goal searching, because I looked at her and went, oh my God, I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yes, I know.
I want
to be like Michelle when I grow up. Yeah, I know.
So she really inspired me to really step back and look at this, and I've been better about it. But I think there are a lot of business owners out there that don't, and we forget this, and we forget that our industry is very underrated. So the pay is little, and we have high turnovers, and I go every day.
That is going to slowly change, though. It is.
I know it is. It's a slow change.
The pandemic is going to actually help us in that regard. Yeah.
Yes, but so I think that one of the major things, though, even though a lot of times it is a lower paying job, it's a very physical and very testing job.
Demanding.
Yes, very demanding. Thank you.
Yes.
And so I think that when you're looking at your team and you're looking at the people that you work with, I think that if you do not show a genuine appreciation for them, and they do not feel appreciated and feel like they are part of that team, and they're not just there to, for the money grab. You know what I mean? Like I could put it, I literally worked for someone that said to me, they could put a trained monkey in the place of groomers and have this to get the same effect. And so and as a manager, I was appalled, and I had to school them.
Yeah.
This was my boss, and I had to tell them where to stand, so that I could properly admonish that thought process.
I was going to say, I hope you elicited an apology from him.
Oh, I totally changed his mind.
Yeah.
He had no idea. And I told him, look, I won't even work for somebody that's what their thought process is.
Yeah, no,
so,
absolutely.
So that's something that we need to also start to stand up for ourselves as, as groomers, as business owners in this industry, and say, hey, look, we all put our blood, sweat, and tears in on a daily basis.
Yeah, the grooming is not a job you can do without your heart. You can't check your heart at the door. This is not an automaton job. This is a job that can get emotional. And dogs read our emotions. And if you don't have your emotions engaged, at least to the point of caring for their safety and professionalism, if you don't read pleasant and safe on these T-zone muscles of your face, where the science has dogs reading us and our emotions and reading our eye contact, if they don't read that in you, if your heart's not engaged, they're going to see right through you, and they're not going to feel safe or be well behaved either. But I think this is Lori, Facebook user, that says, Dara, complimenting the fact that you have also continued your education, which I think all of us have done. I think that's another real hallmark of leadership and of good business practices, self-evaluation, and being able to implement changes. I completely agree with that. My husband and I co-own our business, Love for Dogs, in Glencoe, Illinois. And we actually have, we have a good, he handles the things he's good at, and he does the business end of things, and I do the grooming end of things. But there are times with employee matters, and we're talking about building teams. With employee matters, my natural personal style and my values are such that I can't be professional, detached, not caring, business, policies, procedures, business. I can't. Maybe it's because I was a high school teacher for 30 years and junior high school teacher, and I got used to calling my kids sweetie, and but I can't not treat, when I'm in my 60s and have all this experience, I can't not treat somebody who's 19 or 20 or 21 and be sort of motherly to them, always express caring for their well-being, try to show support for their personal lives, remember birthdays, show sympathy when they're sick, care about family crises that they're enduring, try to, loan them money if I need to get them through a crisis, whatever we have to do. I can't be. I have to follow a business management style that works for me. I can't be my husband. My husband, Bill Jenkins, is a very, very consummate leader and professional. And he's kind of the yin to my yang, and this works really well. The staff knows what to expect from both of us, but I decided a long time ago when he would say, just don't do this and don't talk about that and just only say this and never talk about X, Y, and Z. I can't be that person. I can't come into a grooming shop with, 15 employees and not have a connection where we care about each other, where we ask about each other's, issues, where we show support to one another, where we help each other, where we team up with each other. So I think people have to find the leadership style that is theirs, that is authentic to them. I think that you can learn certain principles, but in the end, you have to find the ways. Like when I was a high school administrator, was a high school vice principal, I was getting my administrative certificate as a teacher administrator. And I took a course in leadership, and we had to identify what our styles were. And all of us were different. There was many different styles of leadership. And what I found is that I'm a servant leader. I'm helpful. I assist. I lead people by coming and supporting them and helping them to do it and to learn it and to be empowered. So I think one of the things is self-assess and find your style and be authentic to your style, because I don't think you can be a leader of following some textbook that's not you.
No, and there are all different ways, but I'm just going to kind of play off of this because since you co-own, like, it's me. I don't have somebody else to come in and play good cop, bad cop, right? So we've got a manager who's doing that now, but she's doing things differently. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to call the shots. And if you don't have somebody in that level that's saying, no, that's not happening, or no, that person is out of here. You still have to have that solid person to
and I can do that. I mean, I've fired people.
I'm just wondering.
I have fired people for two reasons. Three reasons. They've either been abusive to an animal, or they've been abusive to another staff member. Or they have major endangered us with dangerous behaviors. One person was using, the first person I ever fired was using drugs with needles involved in my workplace. So, which, we found out later was heroin. So, wow, very, very dangerous. So, yeah, I fired people. And I fired people. We had one young lady who was developmentally disabled, but was she was the best dryer I've ever had. She was a machine. She was amazing, and everybody loved her, and she was sweet and caring and affectionate and kind. And she one time one of our staff members was kind of playing inappropriately in terms of tossing adult material her way. Horrible. I fired that woman on the spot. That's abusive. So I can fire people. It's not that. It's that I also can't stop being like the kind of person at work that cares about their personal lives.
Yeah.
I learned
ask about their kids
when I worked for a large corporate, and I had to run lots and lots and lots of salons across several states. I had to manage over 250 groomers. I had to learn that sometimes you can actually like people personally, that you really find a connection with that person on that, one-on-one level. But unfortunately, they're just not a good fit for what you're looking for, within the confines of your business model.
Yeah.
And so another lesson I learned in
you can't hire people because you like them. They actually have to do the job.
They have to, and even still, even if they can do the job, but they're just not a good fit for that team. When you're assembling a team of people, you have to really consider all the different dynamics, that you have. Like you have all these different personality types, and you need to develop a homeostasis in that energy of that group, so it's important that what I used to have to tell people all the time, look, personally, I like you and I think you're a really good worker, but for whatever the reasons are, A, B, C, and D, you just don't fit in well with this group that we have here. Like we're seeing conflict that way. So sometimes you have to just I was in a position where there were so many multiple locations I could move people and say, let me put you here, let me move you here and see if this works out better. Because we always have to take personalities into consideration. Yeah. And if everybody is getting along and this one person is odd man out, you have to kind of look at what's the situation here and how do you rectify that? Sometimes it's being honest, and just kind of telling them you see the value, but it's just
Dara, when you self-assessed and you found that you didn't think you were a good leader, what was it that you didn't think was good?
Well, for me personally, what I'm not good at, I am not empathetic. I'm going to be honest with this. So this is the way I look at myself. And my husband really says this too, is I think because of the way I was brought up, and I was very close with my dad, I think more like a man. And I operate more like a man. I work like a man. I'm not, to me, I don't have that nurturing, that motherly bone in me. So
I call it BDE. I call it BDE, which is big beep energy. You can fill in the blanks on the D word. But that's what Dara has. Dara has huge big D energy. Thank you. Yeah, she's very confident. She's very straightforward. She is not empathetic. She's not like somebody that's like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Dara's like, deal with it because I'm going to tell you what it is. And, and that's not detrimental. That's not a bad thing. No.
It's learning how to utilize it properly.
Exactly. Right.
It's realizing this about myself, not realizing it in the past, and now going, oh, I really am kind of half a man. Like, I don't know, but I think I operate like that, and it has not benefited my business over the last 8 years. So it's like my mind.
What you think being more empathetic and more what you think is traditionally female would have been better for your business? I think.
Well, yes, because the majority of our industry is female, and when you can't relate to a woman, it's very difficult. So that's why there are so many harassment cases, and women in general are just a lot more sensitive than men. It
depends on the women. There's a lot of women like you, Dara. There are. Okay. Yeah. You're not just over in your corner alone.
No, I know that.
There's a lot of very, strong women that that just aren't emotionally, don't carry their emotions on their sleeve, or don't wear their heart on their sleeve. And
Lisa Herbold says that she can do it in a nice way without having them feel attacked, which is very, very good. You to be able to speak to people even with kindness and compassion, I think is always a good thing. I'm hoping.
So that's where my manager, Lori, has really stepped in because that's what she brings to the table.
Says, I think that's her that has called you the enforcer. Is that right? Is that Lori?
Oh, I think she was talking to Lisa.
About Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Lisa said her boss
her boss calls her the enforcer.
Yeah. So me stepping in, it's like literally, I'm just like, I come in and everything just falls to shit.
I'm going to propose an idea for people that are looking for people that are looking for maybe some guidance on how to manage different personality styles. And of course, there's all sorts of great stuff on the internet about leadership styles. But there is a, I don't know if you ever use this, Dara, or if you've ever used this, Melissa, because you do a lot of the holistic stuff, but there is a Myers-Briggs test that was developed, and then there's a Keirsey adaptation of it, which I think is even better, where they developed a way to decide if you're, an internal or external processor, sensing or feeling, thinking or judging, percepting. There's these pairs of personality types, and that ends up with 16 different personality types. And there's a test you can take, and if you're going to go into partnership or grouping or cooperative groups, a lot of businesses will take these Keirsey temperament sorters or these Myers-Briggs personality tests and use these theories of personality types in terms of how people work together in everything from romantic relationships to work relationships to teams. And I was actually going to propose to Lisa, as she and I are going to go into business together, I'll propose this out here in public, Lisa, is that you and I do the Myers-Briggs together and see where we are with our leadership styles and with our personality styles. And I think it's a great thing
knows what hers is.
I am too. I'm an ENFP.
Why am I not shocked that the two of them? I know Lisa like this much, and I know Jennifer maybe this much, but I know enough about you two that I know that you two would already have taken that test voluntarily.
And I'm married to an I'm married to an INTJ. So Lisa, have you?
I'm going to try and find this link.
Have you?
Put it up, Dara.
Yeah. So. Okay, so Lisa says, Dara, you're probably an INT like me. Yes. Okay, so there you go. Lisa, you and I have already done it, so we already know. But we're going to be each other's yin yang again, I think, which is fine. You can do it as long as you know these things about each other. And in fact, you want groups that are diverse. If you're in a business and you're managing large groups of people and you get this Myers-Briggs or a Keirsey temperament sort of data on them, you definitely don't want to put people only with their own type. You'll not get anything done.
Yeah, it is tough. So I posted the link.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the right one.
Everybody use it. And you can
jump on and tell me if that's the right one, but I just went there. So no, you are absolutely right. So I'm going to ask you, because another thing I'm wondering about is, is there a difference between empathy and compassion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very decidedly. Empathy, you are actually feeling what they feel, and compassion is a decision. It's an action. You're going to choose to
stop suffering, to try and stop, and that's basically what it means: is to end end suffering. So, or to do what you can to help end or ease that suffering. Right, take an action to do that. Empathy literally means that you absorb that. You take on that. And again, it's me, I'm all about that energy and stuff. So you really do absorb that energy. I'm a super empathetic person. So I have to train myself when I'm in, like I'm getting ready next week to go to Pasadena to Groom Expo West.
God, is that next week already? Oh my God.
I know.
I'll see you there.
I know, I can't wait. But I have to take time before I step into that classroom and center myself and do a little bit of meditation and get my head on straight and be like, okay, I need to, and I usually will, just do a little prayer to help keep me focused and to keep all that energy, keep me from absorbing all that energy, because I know what I'm like. I'm like a sponge. Yeah. And so when I get in those big groups, or if I'm, anywhere where there's a large amount of, a good amount of people, I just naturally start to pick up on all of that stuff. And so that can change my mood. That can make me feel scared or make me feel attacked. You know, like you feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like the walls are closing in. And, you know, so you need to be aware.
Self-protect, right?
Yes, you have to self-protect and be aware of the people that are around you. I wish Michelle was here tonight because she's
so good at this.
She knows that when we were together, she was like, "What is with you?" People literally come up and yell at me for no apparent reason. You know, like I'm just standing there and they will be like, you know, blah, 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 blah. And Michelle, and I'll just be like, oh, sorry you feel that way, or, you know, whatever. And I just let it go. But Michelle's always like, why do people find the need to scream at you? And I'm all, because I'm an empath. And they subconsciously know that. And so their energy, they feel like they can unload that on you. So I have to, you know, protect myself. And so like people like Dara, when I'm with somebody like Dara with that heavy, strong energy, I have to make sure that I'm not, because it makes me want to be like, you know, and so I have to try and have, because it's not good to be like that all the time. You have to balance. You have to balance that masculine and feminine. And so,
that's what I have never done.
Right. And that's what you struggle with, is balancing that and that.
So but Dara, you have great drive. I mean, that's what you're talking about. You have drive.
I do. And
you just want to keep going forward.
My drive comes from what's next. What's more, where I'm the type, I'm that business owner that wants the growth. And growth for me is where success comes in. I'm not the small one person. I can't, I don't, that's not enough for me. I need more.
See, and I need
very irons in the fire.
My shop.
And I am.
Yeah.
I need more.
People have asked me about franchising or expanding. I'm like, no, just this much is what I can handle. Yeah, it's
that's a big part of knowing what you want in life, and you know what direction you want to go with it.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with developing your methodology.
Team.
Yeah, your team and what your methodology is on what you want to move forward with. Jennifer, you're still moving forward, but you're moving forward with that core business.
Yes.
Dara feels like she goes in and she starts this and she gets everything going, and then she needs to move on to
we are always improving. I do have that. I always want to get better, but I'm not interested in, you know, expanding beyond what we have. But
and there's nothing wrong with that.
And Lisa says I'm an overachiever.
I think all of us that are in this group are.
Yeah. I'm going to Liz's comment. I understand. But Liz says she
feels empathy, but not compassion.
Feels empathy, but not compassion. I'm the exact opposite.
Right.
I have not a stitch in me. I have got to work on that, but I'm compassionate. And I'm the first one to be, what can I do to help? How can I help? I don't feel it like Melissa does, but I'm the first one to say, what can I do?
And I'm not sure that isn't better, Dara, honestly, to be able to take action that is ethical and caring, but not, you don't want to be empathetic to the point of hurting yourself. You got to protect yourself.
It's a self-protection. You know, I mean, we do what we do because that's, you know, how we learn to deal with, you know, past traumas and things. So, you know, that's all part of it. We just have to make sure that when we're trying to do business, we have to understand that there's a lot of things that you shouldn't take personally, you know, and there's a lot of things that we need to actually remove that immediate emotion from. So I like I said, I worked a corporate job that I worked with a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities. And one of the things my boss told me, which at the time I thought he was crazy, and I just thought he was a misogynistic jerk. And he said to me, you need to leave, you're way too emotional. You know, you're one of those hysterical women. And I said, what? What are you talking about?
No, I'm not.
I'm Italian. I have to be loud and get hysterical about things,
Sounds like that guy's got leadership issues.
Well, he did. Yeah. And he had a lot of issues, but he taught me so much. And even though it was a tough lesson for me to work for this person, it taught me so much, and it was a well-needed lesson. And that was one of the things that it made me look back and think to myself, you know what? I could have handled that differently. I could have reacted differently. I could have looked at the situation and stepped back for a minute to actually give it the time to appreciate and what the situation requires, instead of just popping off and being like, what's wrong. And
I would like to ask this group and our chat room a question, though, which is that, do you think that the best leaders are the people who lead by example? Because I would say
yes,
that of other grooming shops that I know of, just there's, everybody's so different. I mean, there's such a diversity, but one of the things that I see that I think doesn't work well is that absent owner or that absent manager who just steps in and issues, edicts and policies and collects the money, and maybe doesn't even really always do right by their employees. I sacrificially make sure that the business is taking care of its staff first. Profit is less important as long as we're paying our bills and paying ourselves. That's good. And we are, we've always managed to be profitable, which is, but I'm not pursuing the profit to the extent of that's more important than making sure that we're all okay, being okay, doing okay, that we have the best that we can offer the very best to our clients, that we can educate ourselves and support each other. And, that I would never pay cash under the table to an employee. I respect my people. I pay their taxes. I pay the disability, the workman's comp. I follow the law. I have enough respect for every person that I work with to follow the law and to always run my business in an ethical and legal and above board and in a way that does not place profit over the well-being of our integrity and the people on board. And I think that leaders who come in and are absent and just come in and issue edicts and collect money and try to do whatever they can to squeeze the most money out of it are not going to inspire good people, because then you become an adversarial leader. You're not being ethical. You're not behaving in a moral fashion, and you're not leading by example, and you're not showing them that you're working as hard at the business as they are. I think my employees all know I was the last person there today, again, grooming. I'm always working as hard as my people do. And I think that that's really important. Thank you, Lori, for agreeing with me.
Yeah.
What do you think? And what do you guys think? I mean, do you guys agree, lead by example? Mm-hmm. Do you think absent leaders can be leaders with a team?
I want to be an absent leader.
I know. I think absent leaders work well when you put the right people in place.
Right. A good manager. You can be an owner and hire a good manager. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's where I was going to say is, when I overheard one of mine, somebody said, "Isn't the owner ever here?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, she kind of works from home." And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Do you know what I do?
Yeah.
I just don't go home and eat bonbons. I got a whole office here. This is because
they don't know all the work you do, like just to get the state credentials for your school, and you do so much.
I'm the admin queen. Give me paperwork, and I'm going to do it. I think Michelle mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
I love that admin work of it. Somebody's got to do it.
But I do think that in groomers,
that's my strength. That's my superpower.
And do you empower your people to be and do what they're good at? And I'm sure you do. That's good leadership too. Yeah.
See, that's the thing is I used to not. I used to hinder it because I was too much into myself. And it took a complete mind change of myself to be able to say, I'm the problem. It's not them, it's me. And for me to be able to step back and do that, now I have been able to step back and go, I see everybody's strengths and weaknesses, and how do we utilize them at the fullest. I don't want to be a micromanager. The last thing I want to do is go in and have to tell somebody how to do their job. If you work for me, you know how to do your job.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. That is.
Well, obviously, Lori, who works with you, it sounds like you guys are doing it right, because she's saying, that the communication, the staff communication is there and all. Yeah, no, that's all.
Well, that's Lori. That's Lori's job. Dara should not have to, as the owner, and she has a manager on staff, then that's what that manager's job is to alleviate the owner from the day-to-day stuff and bring the things that need, that need attention that only the owner can take care of. And then the manager, that is your title, is to manage that business and all that business encompasses. The owner is the one that is supposed to do all the admin stuff and take care of everything that isn't just the day-to-day running of that business, but is the big picture stuff that they have to take care of, overall to maintain that business, paying all the bills, all the admin stuff, and your manager does your day-to-day and manages your staff, your clients,
I'm not good at. Yeah.
But, but you are good because you recognize what you can. Everybody, nobody is perfect. Everybody has to self-assess and find their strengths and weaknesses.
And I think
and then create a staff that fills in the balance where you're missing it. Yeah.
And I'm coming on here, putting this out there, saying, I can do this. You guys can do it too. It was tough. It was brutal.
That's what I was going to say. Let them know that this wasn't like you woke up one morning and was like, oh, okay, this is great. I'm just going to change my mind.
I'm just going to self-assess.
No, Dara,
you took classes, right, Dara?
I have been taking classes at Yale and doing online courses.
Yale, everybody.
I want.
She's not ambitious.
No, I know, right? I know, and yes, and I am very proud of the stuff that I've been doing. But I've been keeping it under the radar, and Lori's been giving me this opportunity to be able to do this. And had I not had this opportunity to have this is not something that is common to say. I'm not just going, I'm taking night classes over here. No, I'm taking this is coming. I needed to do this to make the shop better, to make the school better, to do better by my team, the instructors, all of you guys. If I'm not doing that, it's not. So I'm not doing it for the grooming side, but I'm doing it for the business side, because that's important to me. And that falls that I love it. And I want to be the best business owner I can possibly be for everybody.
So to me, when I say absent leader, you're not an absent leader, because you are, just because you're not in the day-to-day as much doesn't mean that you're not working every bit as hard as they are.
No,
and I'm sure that they all feel that. The main
they
thing
don't
is,
see me. Yeah.
that if you don't care about them, you don't care about the business, you're not, you're not valuing how hard your people are working, they're not going to value you as a leader.
Right.
So I think
I used to tell my team all the time, because I had managers under me. And so I used to tell my team all the time, because that's what we were. I would assemble teams. And so I used to tell my team, my different teams, if they were my salon teams, when I was in the salon, I'd be like, if you're seeing me every day, there's something seriously wrong here.
Yep.
That I have to be here to deal with this.
Yep.
That, my management is unable to deal with this, and I have to step in and step away from my other duties. So, when you see that business owners put a manager in place and then things start to fall apart, and a lot of times it's because the owner is still trying to micromanage what the owner's doing. I mean, what the manager's doing, and they're not able to devote all the time to the ownership duties.
Right.
And so,
it becomes a power struggle. And
exactly.
I will say that power struggle, Melissa, we went through that. And
we went head to head on stuff.
And so when
and we still have friends, and we still speak, and we're
when Lori came on full time, it was I wanted to, because I knew that it was going to be tough for her to come on full time if I was there. So I said, I'm stepping out. I'm gonna just walk away. And I did. I think, Lori, if you're still watching, I stayed away for a month. And I'm like, you just do what you gotta do. Make the mistakes, do whatever you gotta do, because you need to own this place. Own it as your own. I don't want to influence anything on her, because my way would be different. So that was the hardest thing to do.
It is, but it's like setting your kids free. It's like when you wanna put them in there, you wanna give them all the tools that they need, but then you have to step back and let the people that you put in place as the owner, or even if you're the manager, you're assembling a team. And so you need to be able to delegate and let them do what they need to do. So that you can see. And then if you need to be like, okay, hey, listen, we just need to, tweak this or correct this a little bit, or, and Michelle is, again, missed so much tonight, because she is a master at walking up to someone and being like, hey, I noticed this. Let's try this instead. I noticed, hey, you're doing this all wrong, and this is not the way we do things here. No, Michelle's like, hey, I noticed this. Let's try this instead. You know what is so much fun to watch is that as I have trained, my lead groomers, Jessica, Jeremy, Sinaida, and I've got 3 more kind of up and coming bathers that are training to become, and it'll be a year-long process. But rather than me feeling like I need to be the one teaching the new people everything every time, I actually caught Jeremy. If you're out there listening, I'm going to compliment you, Jeremy and Jessica and Sinaida, all of them. They will actually, if they see somebody in a table close to them who's a trainee, they step right over and they like to, I found that they like to, and rather than me say, "Ooh, I need to be the one that's the teacher. I have to be the one to teach them my way." I actually stood back with delight and said, wow, he's actually teaching. She's actually teaching this new person. This was actually what a joy to me it was to see the people that I had taught and trained take pride and joy to train the new people. And it's an awesome thing to see. But they have to feel comfortable. That was one of the things, again, when I was in a much bigger atmosphere, a whole bunch of locations and that stuff. And I used to tell my managers, and I used to tell the groomers that would come to me and be like, hey, how do I get my own salon? How do I run my own salon? When we were open in different locations and stuff, and I would always promote from within first. And so I used to tell them, you need to make sure that you feel comfortable teaching, because as soon as you become management, And as soon as you become management, then if you're not comfortable teaching, that's going to be a hindrance to you.
Yeah.
Because, you need to be comfortable with sharing that information, and also recognize the teacher within your staff, the teachers.
Yes.
Because people may not respond to my way of teaching, but they may respond to Susie's way of teaching.
Right? Yeah, my newest groomer, my newest and least experienced full-time groomer, Jeremy, is actually like the best teacher. He's still the closest to the process. I just have to acknowledge Noelle in the chat room. Wow, what a nice thing. She said, love these live videos, ladies. Yeah. Jennifer, you don't know me, but you were so kind to me last year when I had questions regarding how to become a groomer. Took time to talk to me on the phone and give me valuable advice. Forever thankful. Wow, you're welcome.
That's wonderful.
That's a gift to me. I enjoy helping people, and I'm glad to be helpful. So many people have helped me through so many things. I feel like, the good karma, you receive it and you pay it forward. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's great.
Well, we're coming down. We got about 10 minutes left, 9 minutes now.
9 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try. We're doing better. I think, Jennifer, I haven't heard from anybody that we go too long. I get a lot of, oh God, I can't believe you guys stopped talking.
We do love to talk too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but,
well, it is.
I hope we helped out tonight, but
yes.
I don't usually pitch myself. So.
No, but you should. Industry icon.
Okay, I'm going
Pet Age Magazine industry icon. Okay, go ahead.
But I, because of how passionate I am about business, and I've done a lot for the industry over the last few years, I am starting my own online business diploma for
great.
Nice.
And it's not geared towards the grooming industry at all.
Is it being offered through Whole Pet NH?
No, it's a whole new business. So
beautiful.
It's called, it's all about, it's called Shortcut to Profit Business Academy. It's all online. It is a 4-year diploma in 4 months for startup business owners, for everything from A to Z.
Is this a bachelor's degree?
It's taking the bachelor's that I have and putting it in 4 months.
Oh, 4 months. Okay, 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Congratulations, Sarah. That's wonderful.
I got the people in place, and now I can start focusing on what I love, what I'm passionate about.
Much love. I'm just going to send you all that love and
this is your gift.
Good vibes.
Yep. This is your gift. This is your gift. That's going to be a great thing.
Yes. Yep.
And thank you, Liz Leonard. I see you. Thank you so much. That is so kind. I consider you a friend. So there you go.
Yes. Oh, Liz came up last summer and spent some time here. Yep, with us.
That's great.
What groomer magazine?
So how can people find your wonderful new business?
Not yet.
Of course.
It's coming. I'll have that. But I'm keeping that off to the side for right now. So
okay. But tell us when you can tell us.
Yeah, it's there. I'm gonna let people find it as they find it. So
Liz wants to know if there's any other groomer magazines. There's obviously Groomer to Groomer is the big main one. There was a groomer business publication that was a side publication of Pet Age Magazine, which is that trade. It's more of a trade industry magazine. And there was one called Grooming Business. Sometimes as a supplement to Pet Age, but I haven't seen it in like a year.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Not been around in a while. Yeah.
There was also another one that was called Grooming Connection or Groomers Connection. If you Google it, it'll pop up. And I think those are the only two that I know of besides, with Groomer to Groomer and then the Groomer Connection. And the Groomer Connection is much smaller.
It's an online one, Lisa. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an online magazine. And I think, the greatest thing, Liz, is if you're looking for, what other ways to sort of, self-educate and connect, there are so many wonderful online, there's other talk shows, there's other podcasts, there's some great groomer podcasts. Try to get the ones that are more like Dara's here, though, where you actually have a topic that is discussed and illuminated, as opposed to I've seen a lot of people, they just kind of get on their own personal emotional rants. I've turned on a few people's live streams and things like that, and they were very, that's good.
That's okay.
Watch your motive.
Not right.
Everybody we started that way too.
Find the ones that are actually going to, try to be about something substantive and helpful and teaching education.
That speak to you.
Groom Pod, yes, Liz, yes.
Yeah, Groom Pod. Chrissy. Chrissy has some amazing.
Chrissy's got hers. Yep.
Yeah, I love hers. And Chrissy's got an amazing one. Mary has quite a few. Mary Aquendo has quite a few.
Mary Aquendo. Anything that you got, anything you can do with Mary Aquendo.
Yes, and I'm actually going to be doing her women entrepreneur one soon. So I'll advertise that when that pops up. And but there's lots of those podcasts out there. You just have to listen for the ones that resonate with you, and because everybody's got a different style.
Yes, and if you want
grooming better dogs, isn't it? What the heck is it? It just flew out of my brain, Chrissy's.
And there's also wonderful just video subscription series that you can get, Liz, like the learntogroomdogs.com from Melissa Verplank and company. That is an amazing video library, incredible. And then there is the Groom Source. Blake Hernandez and Barkley and other people are doing amazing things that you can just for like $10 a month or something really cheap, $20 a month. You can get this amazing library of, how to do everything, videos and also usually podcasts and chat room communities and things like that. So there's a ton of great online opportunities.
And of course, we're the best.
CreatingGreatGroomingDogs.com. Thank you, Dara.
You can't get it anywhere else, right?
Yes, Creating Great Grooming Dogs. That's Chrissy.
I just posted Chrissy's.
So. That's Chrissy's. That's wonderful.
And then Mary Aquendo, you can just look her. Can you pull hers up? I can't put it up on there. I think it's under her name. I think it's maryaquendo.com. She has a full a site for herself, and I think it lists all her stuff on there. Mary's another one that just has been in the industry for quite a while, and just really goes to the beat of her own drummer. She knows her tribe. Yeah, she does. She knows her tribe. She knows her people, and she's not afraid to say, oh, that's cool. You're not part of this. You don't like what I do. That's fine. There's plenty of other people that do what you need, but, and I'm always a fan of that because I know that, I'm not for everyone. I'm an acquired taste. So,
you can do the Groomer's Cut every Monday night for free.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right. I think I found something of Mary.
And Noelle, thank you for those wonderful kind words. I'm so happy for you. Good for you. You'll have to check in with me later and let me know how you got certified. That's awesome. Good for you. She got certified. That's great.
Oh, that's even better.
But Dara, can you also tell us what are we doing on this wonderful business month theme next week? Because we are about out of time.
Yes, next week. We are going to be talking about training and education for everyone, business owners, and how to be able to pay for your staff. That is
nice.
Key. I think
that's so good. I can't wait to hear.
That's another thing, we hear a lot about that. So we really want to see as an owner that
I'm sending my staff to the All-American this year.
Yeah, that it doesn't have to be every expo. It doesn't have to be everything.
Right.
But as business owners, we should be educating our staff. That's our job. That's not their job. Right. They work for us.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to, if they choose to do others outside, but you should be able to pay.
But it shows your commitment.
Yeah.
It shows your commitment as a business owner, that you're committed to continuing education, that you're continuing to, however you can help them. You know, even if you host, you know, and have somebody come to your salon, you know, even if it's a local speaker.
Yeah, bring in a speaker. That's a great idea to your salon, and you know, pair up with other salons in your area and bring in, you know, somebody and have just a little regional group. Everybody should have good rapport and good connections with their fellow local regional groomers.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about the pandemic puppy. I wrote this in that Groomer to Groomer article I wrote in my column about the pandemic puppy phenomenon being good for our industry, because now competition's really off the table. We're all as busy as we want to be. Right. And we always will be, no matter where. There's no competitiveness anymore. We are groomers and we have as much business as we want, and we can be colleagues and we can work together. You know, but I love pairing up. I've done this several times where I will pair up with 2 or 3 salon owners in my area, and we'll bring in a speaker and have, you know, just invite all of the groomers in the Chicagoland area. It's really cool to do that.
Very good. Important. So we will talk about that next week.
Well, Lisa, you and I will fix this CE problem. We will fix it ourselves. We'll do it.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for
see
watching.
We'll see you. And Dara, congratulations on your new venture. This is wonderful.
Yes, absolutely.
I know. I'm always getting something. Got to keep going.
Yeah, you're so awesome. Okay, now everybody don't sign off because the closing credits are
going to have our closing credits.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
We'll see you next Monday night.
Have a wonderful night, everyone.